Alpha's mates belong to only Alpha, and listen to what they say.
Obviously you malfunctioned. You need help, Alpha.
Something is still missing.
Hello friends, and welcome back to ReddX, your source for the freshest daily cringe content anywhere on the internet. Promise, swearsies, it's just a fact, and it's totally science. Go ahead and look it up. Today we're diving into that r/NeckbeardStories. Yes, indeed, the real subreddit, not my personal subreddit, r/ReddX reads. Although there is some good stuff there, we'll get back to it tomorrow. You know how we do. I just got to keep it fresh, fly by the seat of my pants. This upload's probably going to be a little bit late for the regulars, but I fell asleep on the couch. I can only apologize for that. I've just been getting wiped out by the gym, and it's really hard not being a fat body. Luckily, there are, double upload the other day with RPG horror stories and Neckbeard of my nightmare saga. So hopefully people were able to keep sated, in the few hours that I wasn't here. But I am here now. Hello. I have no idea what kind of story we're in for today. It's not part of a saga that we're currently into. So I guess we're just going to have to see how it goes. But first, let's get some plugs and disclaimers out of the way, and then we will dive right into some Neckbeard Stories cringe. I was engaged to a nice guy, Neckbeard, who treated me not so nice and more like a Chad. I think this is like maybe some propaganda against Chads, isn't it? It's not about the attitude or not treating somebody so nice. But I guess we'll have to see. I'll try and reserve judgment for the end. Our cast, based on our anime roleplay characters, so no real names are used. Ryu, our antagonist. Raven, that's OP, our protagonist. Ray, a childhood friend of Ryu, and my close friend after meeting Ryu. They're gender fluid, this is important for later. When they're more feminine, they went by a different name. We will use Reina as a placeholder. So I am, at the time, just barely 18, and he is 17. We were long distance, and never saw each other in person, even once. But we had been together for 3 years at that point. Oof. There are a lot more stories about this, but this is the part where things got bad. It's also important to mention trigger warning, because I was raped before meeting Ryu, and he ends up treating me pretty badly. There's also mentions of suicide and PTSD episodes. So if emotional manipulation, abuse, and rape bother you, please don't read this story, or skip to the TLDR. Oh, it's gonna be a heavy one, is it? I mean, emotional manipulation and stuff, that's all kinda in the realm of neckbeards, but sometimes it gets a lot worse than others, you know what I'm saying? This is what happens when I pick fucking stories out of a hat. I was very, very vulnerable and lonely when I first met Ryu. Ryu was a large guy, nearly 330 pounds of excess muscle, with a patchy, messy lion's mane of a neckbeard, who constantly wore a Nordic-style Fenrir necklace that I bought him. And he truly made me feel special, after my terrible experience with my first and last, because I was pulled out to be homeschooled, high school boyfriend. For 2 years, I spent all day long texting Ryu, role-playing with him, and calling him. When he proposed, I was ecstatic. I didn't care that I bought my own ring at a second-hand store, because the one he bought me hit the ground once while washing his hands and shattered. Yeah, I don't think that's how rings work. What is this, made of lead or something? Jesus. That didn't matter because he loved me enough to choose me. I didn't think that I would be wanted by anyone else, and he let me believe that. Alright, Neckbeard so far. He even would say things like, "We probably only have each other, and we don't need anyone else if they don't need us." I was being tugged along with this mindset, and I thought that meant that I was happy. This all changed when I got my first job. Always jealous of your job. Bro, there's nothing Chad about this guy. I'm trying to reserve my judgment, but it's just to make me crazy. I was super excited because it meant that I could finally save up and get us an apartment together. Oh God, OP's just gonna pay for everything? The fuck is this guy doing? It had to be me that saved up alone because he was constantly leaving jobs if he didn't like them. Example, he left a really high paying job, $2 over his state's minimum wage, that was doing nothing except pushing carts back into the car park. And he left it because he didn't like to be outside. Well, I'm not surprised by that. Honestly, you should aim for the job that you want. But in the interim, while you're looking for the job you want, it's good to just have any job. Of course, he promised to take care of me and spoil me rotten the moment that he had a job. He's too nice not to spoil his girl, he said. If only I had money. This is the only roadblock. It's pathetic. However, he would already get upset if I put my phone down for like 10 minutes to do chores, despite that he seemed really happy about my new job, so I just thought that it would be fine. I was working 5 to 9 hours a day, 5, sometimes 6 days a week, always telling Ryu that I loved him and blowing him kisses over voice message. This was early on in my medical issues, so I was working whenever I could. However, it became hard to talk to Ryu when I got home. He was cold and curt and would only send me K when I told him about my day, good or bad. Oh no, the dreaded one-letter response. This was a telltale sign to me that he was pissed. Now, he had been this mad before, again, for things like me going to do chores or not sending him naughty pictures. Oh, so neckbeardy. I knew this would go down one of two ways. I would ask him what's wrong and have him blow up, or just let him be mad and have him blow up later about me not noticing that he was pissed. I decided what I always did. Concerned and worried and wanting to help him feel better as fast as possible, I asked him what's wrong. Ryu, of course, exploded. Ryu, nothing! OP, you seem really upset though. Please talk to me if it's something that I did wrong, something that I asked about a lot in this relationship. The mental abuse, the gaslighting, oh my god. It's all here. And I learned from the Chadbeard saga that, people end up sympathizing with their abusers and stuff like that. So it's clear to me why OP didn't leave, but it's still frustrating to watch. OP doing everything she can to hold this fucking relationship together with her bare hands and some baling twine. And this dude's just like sitting around at home like, you didn't text me when you were at work. Like, bitch. You'll be fine for 5 hours, okay? Get a hobby or some shit. Jesus. Ryu. Fine. If you're gonna be a naggy bitch about it, I'll tell you. What the hell? It's just to get you to shut the fuck up. I was here for hours, worried about you, and you didn't message me or call me once. Do not ever compare this guy to a Chad, bro. This is so fucking dumb. OP, honey, I was at work. I work a cashier job, which means I'm constantly dealing with lines. And if not that, then I'd have to work on something else. I'm just super busy. At work. Ryu, too busy to say hi or something on your break? OP, I didn't get any breaks. Besides lunch, 15-minute breaks are not legally mandatory in my state, and I didn't mind that my lunch was spent walking to a nearby place and eating as fast as possible to get back to work on time. Breaks are not legally mandatory? Oh, god damn. Can you say that again for the people in the back? What state has slave drivers like this? This is part of the reason I smoke. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm taking that break, goddammit. Ryu, whatever. You obviously don't love me anymore, despite how nice and loving I've been to you. You of all people
should know that other people would be jerks to you and never give you the time of day if you ghosted them like that. You should just be happy that I replied. But if you're gonna argue with me, I'm done. Maybe I'll finally just go away permanently. I know I have a knife around here somewhere.
Don't threaten me with that shit, because I know the signs, and announcing it to everyone and their mother is not part of the signs. This is a cry for help. This is a manipulation tactic, but I don't think the dude's actually gonna off himself. Additionally, diving into how nice and loving I've been to you, like, what have you done, dude? You've done nothing to push this relationship forward. Jesus Christ. I mean, he's only 17, OP's only 18. They were a couple of crazy kids just trying to figure it out, but OP needs to figure it out with somebody who's worth a damn. And that was when he blocked me. Consider yourself saved. I was terrified. Despite him threatening this a lot, I never learned. I could never be sure if he was telling the truth or not. He's not. Ray was Ryu's neighbor and a childhood friend, so I switched chats instantly and called them. I was sobbing my eyes out, and I was begging and pleading for them to go check on him. Ray, what do you mean? OP, Ryu said he was gonna kill himself again. Please check on him. I'm begging you. Ray, Raven, that makes no sense. I'm looking into my room at him right now. He came over for video games, and he's still playing them right now. Yeah, boot up that Fortnite. I forgot all about the knife. I don't know. I sighed in relief. I was so happy to hear that he was safe, and really, that was all that mattered. When I was sure that he wasn't going to hurt himself, like always, I would talk to Ray. More than I would before the fight. I ended up talking to them almost every day too. They just didn't care if I took a while to reply, like a normal person. Every once in a while, asking Ray to ask Ryu to unblock me. Eventually he did, and demanded that I apologize or he would block me again. I was quick to do so because if I argued or stated anything about him apologizing or about issues that he had caused, then it suddenly made it all my fault. These fights happened at least once a month to once a week, ever since I started work. Oh God, isn't that enough baggage? Look, bro, I gotta focus on my job. It's not my forever job, but one of us gotta make some fucking money. Jesus, every week sounds so exhausting. I know a couple like this. I'm not gonna name names, but I will just say that it makes me very grateful to have the wife that I have. And now, through work, I was finally rebuilding my social life. I was making friends again and finally had a reason to leave the house besides work. Ryu, of course, didn't like this and even accused me of spending too much time away from him to go and act slutty. I'm still waiting for the Chad part. This is the part that kills me the most. He's like, yeah, he treated me kind of like a Chad. No, dude. Chads are confident, okay? Chad will dress his lady up slutty to dare other guys to talk to her. You know what I'm talking about? Mostly, I did this because I was getting comfortable with my body again. I wasn't comfortable looking at myself naked, but I wasn't wearing a hoodie and long sleeves and sweatpants in 100-degree weather like I had when we first started dating. 100 degrees Fahrenheit is about 38 degrees Celsius for you people using non-freedom units. However, like I said, I didn't like looking at myself naked. It took nearly 8 years to get over that, and that meant he almost never got saucy pictures. He would screenshot and count the times that he would ask and had been told no because I just wasn't comfortable with it at the time. I had always explained why, and he would then tell me, as his fiance, it was my job to send him these pictures. Boy, don't talk to me about fucking jobs. You go out and find one and I'll show you my titties. Honestly, y'all don't seem compatible, you know? I gotta wonder where you guys met or like if you do anything besides argue. Like, What is it exactly that's holding this relationship together? The promise of maybe someday we can see each other? I'm gonna tell you, long distance relationships can work, but only if they do not stay long distance forever, okay? The less time spent apart, the better. Especially if you're trying to build a life together, which OP is, but this dude is not doing a goddamn thing to help her out. So take them naughty pictures and shove them right up your cornhole. He told me that
I was supposed to pleasure him whenever he needed it, but instead I wore slutty clothes and went out with other boys instead.
I love how insecure he is. There was a point in my life where I was like this, and I think that's why I find it so funny. But now, 30 years old, I realized you can't fucking control other people. If you want to go out and cheat, then you're going to do it, whether I sit here fucking yelling at you through text or not. He then would call me words that he knew triggered my PTSD from that experience and would almost rub it in my face. And this would continue until I finally broke and took a naughty picture for him and cried myself to sleep. Ugh, that is difficult. I was going to make a joke about crying myself to sleep after sex to lighten the mood, but I don't think that's appropriate at this time. This treatment was only made worse when I was raped a second time, this time by a close friend. I was drunk and violated that night, and almost everyone that I could talk to was asleep. So I messaged a friend who helped me feel safe, and they let me crash on their couch until I felt safe being at my own house, since this dude knew where I lived. Ryu was pissed.
I had chosen a male friend to do it, and I was probably sleeping with him.
Even though at the time, all my friends were male because of my interests, so anyone I chose would have been male anyways. He then told me, Ryu,
to be fair, it's because of the way you dress. You look like a single and ready to bang slut.
Yeah, you know, this guy, he sees that all the time. Goes out on the town and just gets absolutely surrounded by sluts who are ready to bang. I don't feel like I need to say that it's a stupid thought that it's because of the way that she dressed, but I guess I'm gonna say it anyways. It's never the fault of the victim and the way that they dress, okay? It's the malfunction of the assaulter. It's just basic, man. OP says, but Ryu, that's horrible. I'm finally happy in my own skin. I've never been able to wear crop tops in like 2 years. Isn't that a good thing? And are you really saying that this is my fault, Ryu?
I'm just being honest. You know I'm too nice.
There it is.
And I love you too much to lie to you. Maybe you should dress, less like you're looking for attention. It's good that you're wearing less, but only I should be seeing that. So, are you really saying that this isn't your fault at all?
Oh, God, he's such a horrible human being. Honestly, I'll be surprised if this doesn't end with OP locked in a basement because, her face is something that only the Neckbeard should be looking at or something like that. Please, I miss my parents. And he's like, stop dressing slutty for your parents. Oh, what an idiot. I'm trying to lighten the mood. I don't know if it's working. It seems like we're going to need it for the parts that are coming. I was not in a mental state to hear that. And to this day, when I have flashbacks and when I shut down, I still say it's my fault. It happened. But he ended up making me see it his way, and I accepted fault for it, and for that, the friend group nearly fell apart. But also, Ryu changed his expectations a bit due to the circumstances. Our nicknames when he wasn't mad at me were
Wolf and Buddy.
God, no! Not another Wolfbeard! Because he was obsessed with wolves. And thought he was better as a werewolf. Oh no, dude. To the point that where he got angry, he would call it
getting wolfy.
That is some top tier cringe, boy. Shout out to those who know the Wolfbeard Chronicles. because this is what it's like to be in a relationship with one. Hey, have you watched Wolfbeard on my channel? It's one of the hardest hitting series. And yeah, also because OP liked bunnies. So now,
He was my alpha, and alpha's mates belong to only alpha, and listen to what they say. They don't even look in Omega and Beta's directions.
God, I can't. The cringe is, really getting to me. If I did, or I disobeyed him,
I would be punished by being blocked.
and if he blocked me,
Who knows if I'll ever unblock you again?
please do it. Fucking put me out of my misery, dude. This is only getting worse for reals. At least it's more cringe than feels. At least in that part, though. And it was somewhat quiet, at least. Albeit the fighting didn't stop about me not responding for longer than 10 minutes or leaving for work. Now, later in life, I would discover that I'm polyamorous, which was something that I think I started to realize here. Ryu already knew that I was bisexual, but I had a female friend tell me that they liked me, and I realized they thought I might like them too, but not specifically for sexual reasons. They held me when I cried, and when I crashed at their place, they would hold me when I thrashed from night terrors, and it made me feel special. When I mentioned it to Ryu, he was surprisingly okay with it. Yeah, because it's another chick. I know what's going on here. You think I don't see through this? I've seen it about 100 times in the past month alone. He took it well, without arguing or anything, and that made me pretty happy. I shared the news with Ray, and they ended up getting kinda awkward. I asked what was wrong and tried to figure out why. Ray then told me Ryu had already said that it was fine a little while after we were engaged. Why Ray thought this was because Ryu had been sleeping with them and having them give him head anytime he came over for video games. Oh God, he's not just playing Fortnite. This is a wild ride, man. I hope you leave now, OP. I was heartbroken because not only was he cheating and lying to me, but we had promised that our first times would be together. I called Ryu and confronted him straight up, showing him the screenshots that Ray sent me, as well as having Ray's permission to show the conversation as well. Ryu,
Gross. You consider me begging Ray to be cheating?
what? OP, yeah, you slept with them. And you're also not a virgin either. You promised that our first times were going to each other. You're always breaking promises, but this was the one that I was really hoping that you would actually keep. Ryu?
Sleeping with Ray doesn't count because he's a boy.
OP? What? Ryu?
Yeah, because it's only in his butt.
I can't breathe.
So I'm still a virgin. I didn't break any promises, and I made sure it was only when they wanted to go by Rada.
So they were a girl at the point where you put it in their butt? Does that make it better? There was a lot of like Armenian chicks at my high school that would let you put it in their butt and claim to still be a virgin afterwards. It's like, no, dude. Penetration is penetration. I'm pretty damn sure. This shit just hit a whole new level, man. I don't even know what to say. OP, that's not how it works at all. That's not how any of this works. Ryu, this hurts me. Ryu,
It's fine. You'll be my first pussy I ever have.
Jesus Christ.
So it still counts. Now drop it before I get wolfy and end up taking it out on you again. Besides, Ray wanted someone to do it, and we're trying open relationships now anyways, right?
Every time I get into a post like this, man, I'm so glad to be fucking old. I could not hang. I stopped arguing. Not because he was right, because he wasn't, but because I hated making him angry. Looking back on it now, it didn't matter, because I was already telling myself what he normally did in my head. That I was naggy for nitpicking him about his sexual habits if I wasn't going to help him, and I was a whore, which was a trigger word of mine anyways, and so I should be expected to be treated like one. Essentially, I was having that fight in my own head with myself because it had happened so many times. Maybe it's a sign. I ended up trying to take my own life later. Luckily, it was unsuccessful, but when I told Ryu, he replied, "K," because I was gone longer than 10 minutes, and then we got into a fight again. What the hell, man? Ryu made me believe that this was all my fault.
I should have sent him more pictures. I should have spent less time doing chores. I should have snuck to the bathroom at work to talk to him.
None of that would have fixed it, but all the better to gaslight you with, I suppose. This continued for another 2 years. Jesus Christ! You got the patience of a saint, OP. Before finally an ex of his, who cheated on him before, texted him, and he dumped me to go running back to her. After 5 years? Holy hell. He would rub it in my face how happy they were. They were engaged after a year, and last I heard he was still unemployed, and making her 6-month pregnant self work to pay the rent for the both of them at Ray's house. Oh, what a mess. I'm so glad you're out of it, OP, but what a goddamn mess. Ray would tell me how horrible it is living with him, and I let them rant to me as much as I want. I hate to say that my 5-year relationship with him ended up being a scar that I still carry with me to this day. He used me, and then left me behind like a huge metaphorical mess to clean up. I made this post mostly because I've been getting more sexually comfortable, and because of what Ryu did to me, sometimes I still have PTSD episodes when I'm sexually comfortable, so I was recently reminded of all this, and because Neckbeard/niceguy stories are rarely about those who do fall for their act, not true, we get quite a few. They pretend that
the Chads abuse women and can't appreciate them.
Yet here is a Chad in Neckbeard clothing, apparently. You're still holding on to that Chad thing? We threw that out the window a long time ago, dude. TLDR, dude was an abusive deadbeat, manipulative person who used me for my body more than my personality, which ended up causing a lot of hurt until he just straight up left me. OP, I don't know what the hell's going on here. There is not a goddamn thing that is Chadly about this dude, okay? He's so obviously needy and insecure that it's painful to hear about. Holy hell. I definitely feel for you, and if you're still having like PTSD issues about it, I highly suggest talking to a therapist. Not the first time that I've said on this channel that therapy is indeed for everyone, but some people do need it a bit more than others. And that ain't me throwing shade. I mean that really and truly, and I hope that you do get the help that you might be seeking. I feel really bad for his girlfriend who's pregnant now. God damn, she's gonna carry a beard baby. That's so sad. But I don't know, man. I just can't save them all. You know, I just got to be grateful that you got out of that situation. I honestly probably would cut all ties, including with Ray, who cheated with your boyfriend. So I don't understand how you guys are still friends for some reason. But indeed, holy hell, what a roller coaster of a story. I refute all accusations of this Neckbeard being a Chad and stamp him heartily with the 100% certified Neckbeard stamp. Boom. There it is. Good God. I gave most of my thoughts during the story because I just could not contain myself. But I do hope that you guys enjoyed it in some way, at least. I hope that you like, comment, and or subscribe. Maybe share the video around if you should like. I do always appreciate that. Check out them links in the description. You know, plugs and playlists and social medias with the Twitter and the Discord and the Facebook. Come on through. Say hey. We've also got my gorgeous, wonderful, beautiful, generous patrons. Yes, indeed. I'd like to thank them as I always do. So thank you very much, Calvicus, Fatboy Shrimp, Robert Waits, TSM Kirby, Aaron W, Twisted Child, Delicious Jelly Donut, Candy Sora, Fire Drake, Livison, Mr. Anime Manga Fan, Silent Revolver, Zero MX, Magdalene Marshall, Thornrose, Cherish Kitsune, Little Lone Wolf, Vanilla Mel, Rouse Dower, Satori, Babsy-kun, Caustic Fox, Disposable Waifu, Aaron Lennox, Fisher Diggy, Gypsy. Oh, that's a new one. Hey, Gypsy. Hadrian BR, Heathcliff, OG James Cook, a pimp named Jay Crisp, JM Coon, Jerry, John Hero, Miss Monday, Lexi Loves JoJo. I think that's also a new one, or someone changed their name. Lord Liono, Jackets Rule, Melgar the Destroyer, Mirthful Baker, Mr. J, my boy that one, Nick, Lady Nix or Gamey Steve, Katykins Elizabeth, Sidestep, Cider Drinker, Serrated Ash, Siegfried, Synaptic Boomstick, Brilliant Tamago, Tato Ferret, Teddy the Police, 10-Ton Monster, That Duck and Bug, The One True Fusky, Treeberg, Wilmax, Redwind, Goose Honk, Leon Embers, Naga Viper, Saints Blessing, John Indoors, A Normal Joe, Amara, A Roxers, Cake Jerry, that's a different Jerry. California Keto Girl, Cinnamon Bunny Dog, KJW, Kajow, Crafty Kitty Cat, Little Ann Woods, Mark 211, maybe next time, Milk Fed Gimp, Ms. Duchess, Origami Cam, Princess Rosalie, Ghosty, Raptor Art, Ellie, The Last Shinobi, and the Necrobamacon. Thank you guys so much for supporting the channel in the way that you do. It means the world to me. I do hope some other people will consider supporting on Patreon, but if you can't do it right now, don't sweat it too hard, friends. I just appreciate you coming on through, hanging out with me, and I hope that you'll come on back and hang out with me again tomorrow. In order to do so, you need to keep yourself safe out there. Wash your hands, but also take some time out and do something that you personally enjoy today. Maybe like watching some more ReddX videos. And most importantly, always remember, friends, that you are loved, you are worthy, and you definitely deserve it. I shall see you in the next one, and until then, bye-bye.